Do you wake up with a stuffy head, maybe mucus in your throat or nose? Do you always feel like you have a cold? Do you feel like you have post-nasal drip? Well, if you have those kinds of things, or you know people that might be dealing with those kinds of conditions, I'm so glad you've tuned in to our continued series here on what kind of care is right for you, what care is right for you. And so today what we're going to talk about is sinus problems, sinus issues, and that's a pretty prevalent thing. All you got to do is walk into any drugstore and there'll be literally one half of the aisle that has a lot of medication over-the-counter type stuff that helps with people with sinus problems. And I want to talk a little bit about how and what chiropractic care and what we can do here at Kenty's Chiropractic for those of you that are dealing with this kind of a thing. And it really, the irritation of your nose, which is called rhinitis. If you have a drippy, runny nose, that's called rhinitis. Anything itis means inflammation, rhin means your nose, that kind of a thing. Or if you're having sinusitis, it's usually caused from some kind of irritant that your body is not dealing well with. Irritants can be like dust, mites maybe, fumes, smoke in the air, pet dander, a bacterial situation, maybe molds that you might be around, or viri, the plural version for virus. Those kinds of things can actually cause an irritation. And now those are always in our air, they're always in our environment. We're never going to actually get rid of all of that. But what can happen to those of us that have a sensitive immune system or a heightened immune system is we can develop these hypersensitivities where the body actually responds in this way, where you have these kinds of things, where you have the stuffy head, the post-nasal drip, those kinds of things. And so one of the factors that comes into play with people that suffer with that is to influence the immune system. As chiropractors, we won't do anything directly with your immune system, but every part of your body is literally run either directly or indirectly by your brain and spinal cord. Unfortunately, most people think that what runs the body is the heart, and the heart is very important. I mean, you can actually live without your heart and blood vascular system. So you do want a healthy one, preferably, but you can live without your heart, but you can't live without your brain and spinal cord, and particularly your nerve system working at 100%. Now, the system that's most closely related to your nerve system is your immune system. And that's a system that goes and fights off these invaders that can cause these kind of problems. And if it's oversensitive because of your nerve system being oversensitive, it can lead to these kinds of reactions and problems that people have with it. Might be subtle foreign. And maybe you're one of these persons, people that just have had this recently, or you could be dealing with this kind of a thing for decades of time. And so what we do chiropractically is we're going to evaluate and look at the spine, make sure the nerve system is not affected. And by balancing, if there is interruptions in your ability, your spine and nerve system to affect your nerve system, by correcting those through a series of what we call adjustments or coming in for a protocol of care, we have noticed in our experiences and personal testimonies, even studies have shown that people's immune system is dramatically affected, which can then lead to a balancing of your body working better and eliminating some of these sinusitis, rhinitis types of conditions. So hope that you're going to go through the material that's written here and you've clicked on this link. Definitely hope that this is maybe explained and help you with understanding more about what we can do chiropractically for these kind of conditions. I do hope that you subscribe to our YouTube channel that you're watching here, and continuing to look at some of the other videos on our series here, what's called What's Right for You. Glad that you could join us. Thanks for being here.